Animosity Advent Stories. Before and after. The fore and aft was a grand galleon once, all broad decks and majestic castles. The people who built it and the name they gave are both lost to history, and none can say how it came to rest in the ribs of Chigorish, except to speculate that it must have sailed up the River long ago. Today, the fore and aft has become the Scarland's greatest inn, its stowage repurposed as a tavern, its gun decks partitioned into rooms. The great gilded room that once served as her captain's quarters has become a penthouse, the finest accommodation within a week's march. Which isn't saying much, but it's a sight better than pitching camp along the beast path. With the tavern patrons' raucous gaiety still a dull roar 4 decks beneath them, it was here the 6 would decide the shape of things to come. Babu lay sprawled across 3 beds pushed together as Corzia worked ice and fire upon his wounds. The exile's bone-crafted body appeared unsettlingly arachnid, her chirurgeon form sporting entirely too many eyes, arms, and fingers. Not even a brawl with the Ogroid Magu had injured the Bulgor so badly as a clan rat's knife twisted in his ankle, and they did not expect him to walk without a limp ever again. Saros Falnik had fared little better. The Dark Oath chieftain's body had been smashed like a bowl of eggs by a Troggoth. Only the soul fire of their binding had kept him alive, the strength of all 6 keeping his bruised heart beating and his blood-clogged lungs breathing. Vigo watched over Saros' slumbering form, the Lord of Pain occupying his vigil by endlessly polishing his prized armor. In the center of the room, the most diminutive of their companions sat in a circle of parchment, each a page torn from a single book, gathered together again by bloodshed and battle. Long had the skink Starseer contemplated the pages, and now his body sank into the air, the pages lifting off the floor around him. Vigo paused in his make-work. Bamu opened his one good eye, and Corizia's 24 regarded the scene with unblinking curiosity. The pages began to orbit the skink like celestial bodies about a star. Next, they disintegrated, the letters blazing like pinpricks of light as they lifted off the parchment, arranging themselves in new constellations before winking out like candles snuffed before bedtime. Itzaqua opened his eyes and dropped softly to the floor.
"The Library of Chungus is not a place,"
he breathed, as Bamu's expression turned inquisitive.
"I was mistaken. This book was not an index of a place, but of people. Nashua knows a repository of knowledge would be vulnerable to us. Her library is one of living memory, of individual minds. It's as though their thoughts are books upon her shelf."
Upon Vigo's confused countenance, the Starseer's tone turned flustered.
"The library we're looking for isn't anywhere, but everywhere. It's the very people of the Scarlands."
With that, Sir Zigbin's faithful steed snorted and rolled over, sending the paladin slumbering atop the squig's back tumbling to the floor in a crash of plate armor. Gathering himself up, the Knight of the Good Moon regarded his companions with blinking, bleary eyes.
What'd I miss?"